Hi, I want to do another video today on archetypes, and this is a continuation on my video splitting of the soul / personality formation, and this idea is, I don't know if it's just Carl Jung, but he's most famous for the concept of archetypes, and with every philosopher or psychologist with their theories, everything is built on concepts beforehand. So I don't know who to give credit, but the idea of archetypes is that it's a psychological pattern that is commonly seen everywhere throughout humanity. It doesn't depend on like the culture, the location, your family history. They seem to unfold in most people's life, and that's what's making them universal. And the idea is that they are inherited in our DNA and are based in the collective unconscious that we all have access to. We have an unconscious that is the personal unconscious, but we also have a plug into the collective unconscious. So the idea of studying archetypes is to, in some form, identify the unconscious patterns in ourselves that are inherited and are played out, and mostly we don't know about them. They are just unfolding before us and can be like a part of our identification, so we don't notice that it's something that we do or that we're experiencing. But when we get a language for it, we can then categorize it in our consciousness. And when we do this, we can detect it quicker when it's starting to unfold. Because when things from an unconscious level unfolds in our lives, we have slid into unconscious autopilot. Things are just happening, and it's like we're almost like snoozing. We can catch ourselves. And one thing, or one example of how to see what I'm talking about, is to think about moments where you have been cooking, for example, or something very ordinary that you do every day, and you do it so frequently that you don't think about it. Maybe it can be like washing your hands. You do it so many times a day that you just get it over with. Or maybe it is like some habit of you putting your keys in your pocket, for example. It just happens very quickly and your mind is somewhere else, so you're not even registering that you have done it. So that is what will lead you into like going to whichever direction you're going, and then like being or stopping in your tracks and being like, oh, where is my key? Did I put it in the bag? And then you check, and then there it is. That is like that is an example of being on autopilot. And why we have this unconscious pattern is because it saves us time, and also because we live in a very hectic world, so we fall into this habit of multitasking. And when we are multitasking, we are like going in such a high speed that we're thinking about something and doing something half-assed and maybe like thinking about something else, and everything is so like planned, and like our internal tempo is so heightened that we don't have a chance to actually have our body catch up to what we're doing mentally. And with everything in our current living state, with efficiency being the main goal for the society as a whole. It's very strived for. We want things to happen quickly, and with TikTok, for example, everyone is wanting to get kicks of things. We want instant gratification, so we watch videos that are very short to get a fix. And this is not really helping. This is like the opposite of mindfulness. So what this archetypal language can teach us is that a lot of psychologists and philosophers and so forth have collected some patterns that have been translated through time through mythologies, because mythologies are basically archetypes being played out in a symbolic sense, in a symbolic language, and they are tracking the unfoldment of the collective unconscious in a personalized way. It can be non-personalized as well, but mostly it is personalized human evolution, psyche's evolution. And with this understanding of the archetypes, with this connective bridge between the unconscious and the conscious, we can springboard into a new level of know thyself. And some examples of archetypes that are very good to start with is the inner child. Of course, I would say that I'm very like on this train now of like root chakra healing and so on, but I think it has also to do with a lot of Taurus, planets in Taurus at the moment. But yeah, so inner child is a good one to start with. And with astrology, this is mainly what astrology is based on. If you look at astrology through a psychology, esoteric and evolutionary astrology lens, that the planets are parts of the psyche, and they are explained in mythologies. Venus, for example, is Aphrodite, and Aphrodite is the feminine unconscious pattern in ourselves, and that has been translated into keywords, and now in mainstream astrology it's used to explain how we are in love relationships, but it is a bit deeper than that. But that is an example of archetypes being used in a system like astrology. And there is a book from Caroline Myss about archetypes. You can look up Carl Jung archetypes and see examples. Tarot is another one that's using archetypes to explain the human evolution as well. There we have in the major arcana, we have the major life paths or life cycles, you could say. So that's another thing to study if you want to get to know archetypes. So like a good exercise to maybe do to get acquainted with them could be to try to like research them a bit, and then when watching movies, for example, you can try to, after the movie's ended, you can try to say at least one archetype that you noticed throughout, just to get this language and this idea inside your mind, to then be able to notice them in yourself. And also the beauty of this is that we get in contact with how we really are one. Everyone experiences these patterns personally or indirectly by other people, but it's very interesting how we are really all connected. Like if you want to take this even further, then really if you know some astrology already, then try to get your own mind set on how planets are actually archetypes and archetypes of the psyche. Read the mythologies in Greek mythology or Roman. And archetypes is really what I want to do for a few videos. I want to go into them and explore them, what they or how they're manifested in my life, in the collective, what I can see. I don't really know how to wrap this video up. I just wanted to do a video talking a bit about archetypes because it is a very interesting concept. But this is just like a short one to spring off onto the other ones. So thank you so much for watching.